So I was today years old when I found out what preservation means, specifically neurodivergent. And I, it could be the OCD and that at play, but I always would call these things my crash outs because I couldn't get an idea out of my head if I didn't feel like I had closure, or if there were gaps missing, or if I couldn't understand the context of something on the way and it felt super unjust. I just think about that shit over and over again. I'll be looking at the Carfax, I'll be replaying it, I'll be asking other people to explain things for me, asking if it made sense, and doing all this stuff. If, let's say, I was in a conflict with somebody and it was super open ended or confusing, I would do that for days, and I would just need some type of closure or answers to settle that part of my brain. And I always thought, like, maybe I just have attachment issues, like, maybe that is just me ruminating, but I'm learning that it's probably that. And I don't like that I do that, so hopefully I can find something to make myself stop doing that, but it was very interesting. Preservation is basically the concept that you keep having these thought loops or thought patterns when things don't make sense. Actually, hold on, let me look it up so I can give you a definition. I guess some people call it looping as well. Getting stuck on a thought, action, or unanswered question due to differences in cognitive flexibility, anxiety, and a strong drive for predictability. So thought loops can happen when the brain cannot easily transition from one neutral tack to another, if there are missing details, vague statements, or broken patterns that leave an open loop, and this can cause distress. Oh my god, that shit is like torture, bro. It's literally torture. It's literally torture. And I always used to think that those were crash outs. I would say, like, yeah, I'm crashing out because if something don't make sense, I'm gonna like pester you to get that shit out. But then I'm also feeling the emotional distress of being put in this predicament that doesn't make sense and feeling like punished in a way. So yeah, I just dealt with that shit again for the first time in a long time, and let me tell you, it did not feel good. It did not feel good at all. But then that just has me thinking about, I'm popping my nails off, by the way. It has me thinking about what is and what isn't my autism, right? Because, like I said, I thought that was just me having attachment issues, right? But I think in some way I do have attachment issues. But then again, doing more research, it's typical for neurodivergent folks to have safe people. And that's why a lot of women specifically get misdiagnosed with BPD a lot. And I definitely think that I cling on to safe people a lot, and I know that that's. I don't think that I do it in an unhealthy way. Like, I've never gotten feedback that I'm overbearing or like too in people's faces or needy. You know what I'm saying? But mentally, safe people keep me regulated. I can say that, and when I get into any type of romantic connection, they always become my safe person by default, right? And my best friend is always a safe person. Like, anytime that I want to go somewhere social and I don't have anybody else, if my best friend is available, like, that is my go-to girl. That is my girl. But yeah, I think just by default, when you start becoming romantically involved with somebody, they become your safe person. And I just this is the first time in a long time that I've liked somebody enough to feel like they were a safe person for me, right? So before this year, I hadn't liked anybody new, I would say, since 2024. In 2024, there were two people that I like that I feel like were at the capacity enough for me to put them in a safe person box. You know what I'm saying? And I dated people in between then. Well, more so like 2024 was the first year that I was completely single, like no baggage, nothing. So I was out in the field for real. And I dated around and I met people and it didn't work and it ended and I was fine with the ending because I didn't like them enough to feel safe around them. So I don't grieve them, right? And for some reason, this person that I just ended a connection with, we did not date that long, but for some reason, I feel that level of connection like they were a safe person for me. And it's unfortunate because that person was very unsafe for me. Um, in retrospect, just looking at their capacity to be able to understand like who I am fundamentally was just very low, you know? And that got me thinking physical affection and proximity play a big part in how safe I feel around people because it came a point where I was seeing this person multiple days out of the week. Like Monday through Wednesday, I'm at her house, and then I'm seeing her again Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? And I think having a person that feels almost like a refuge, right? When I am going through so much and processing so much just to go to work or live my everyday life, it feels really good to come home to somebody, right? And I think that is the habit that I fell into with this person, which made it really hard for me to detach from them. And I guess it has me reflecting on why I don't, why I take a long time to let my guard down in that sense, because I am kind of surrendering my guard and my defenses over to you when it gets to that point that I feel safe enough to find refuge in your arms or in your presence. You know what I'm saying? Even with friendships, right? There was one friendship that I had that got very deep, it got very intimate. We would talk all the time, like we would see each other a lot. And the frequency of that makes it easier for me to go, you're seeing me so much. Eventually, this mask is gonna lower, right? I have no choice but to unmask in front of you if I'm seeing you 5 days out of 7 days a week, right? So, yeah, it just really hurts when you feel comfortable around people and then they let you down or things don't work. And I know it's like I'm over this person emotionally, right? Like, I don't necessarily feel the emotional outburst that I felt when things first ended. I have a better sense of understanding on why it wouldn't have worked, and I'm able to be grateful for the experience as a whole without necessarily wanting the person back in my life, right? Because I understand that it fundamentally would not work. But I still find myself wanting to travel back in time to a place where I didn't know that, or travel back and re experience certain memories or certain moments with this person. And I struggle with accepting that I have those feelings because I'm still in the process of separating. Well, I don't know. I don't even think separating. Kind of combining logically thinking and emotionally thinking and feeling, because I always would feel with my mind, right? And I kind of would never let my emotions take the forefront if there was a way that I can logic myself out of it, right? So the battle I'm having right now is like, logistically, I know that this person is not a person that would be beneficial to my life. And logistically, I'm just confused because it's like, you didn't even do anything with this person for that long to have like a deep and sustainable connection, right? So logistically, my brain is like, okay, cut. But then emotionally, it's like, I still feel sad and disappointed, and I don't know. Part of me, I don't know. It's hard to explain because it's like, you can be disappointed that things didn't turn out the way that you thought they would, but I also think that the disappointment is going beyond the person, right? And that is not to um, devalue the connection I have with the person or whatever, but I think there was things in her that I admire and wanted to achieve, and I think being in proximity to somebody like that, and also that person kind of attributing to having this need or desire to achieve this thing, right, makes it sort of bigger. It's bigger than you because I liked you, and but I also liked how it felt to be around you because there were parts of your life that I also desire, right? So I don't know. It's a really weird thing that's happening right now. I don't know. I had a tarot card, and my tarot lady said, "You gotta stop thinking about this person. It's gonna make you miserable." And that was real. And I don't think that I think about this person necessarily, but I don't know. I don't know. I think with this person leaving around a time where my safe people aren't safe peopling, also, right? Like, my friends are kind of going through things that make them not very able to be present. So it's like, I just feel out. I feel like a sheep just vulnerable for the wolves. I don't know. It sucks. And I'm used to it because I'm kind of used to having to deal with difficult things alone. Like, when I think about all the hardest times that I had, I was either alone or I was just dating someone, maybe. But I'm used to it, but it is a very hard shift to go back to go from having people that you feel safe around and doing things with them to going back to doing things alone. It's like a very drastic transition. And it just feels different. It makes you think about things that you don't want to think about. Like, I've been doing stuff still. I went to this cool art exhibition and this like collage workshop. I'm going to one of my friend's shows tomorrow, and I go on walks like every day. So I'm still trying to keep busy. I'm not trying to be too busy. I'm just trying to honor my body, and I've also been trying to feel my feelings as well. So it's an interesting process. It's an interesting journey that I'm on right now, but yeah, I don't know. I hate feeling attached to people, and that's why I gotta stay 10 feet away from the people because I get addicted to the oxytocin. I swear. I don't know. That's why in my bed I gotta have the stuffed animals and all the pillows and the body pillows. So, and then that's good enough. I think also just when somebody becomes a part of your routine, you just that's a transition too, right? Like I don't necessarily desire the person anymore, but I wonder like what they're doing. I wonder about progress of things that were happening before the connection ended, right? Like I wonder if you still have my stuffy in your bed or my bunny on your wall. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's so weird. It's like a part of life that people are gonna come and go, but I think connecting with people feels extra sentimental when you have autism because it's very hard to do in the first place, right? I have a lot of friends that are very surface level, or I meet a lot of people when we go out, and I might know everything about them, but they don't know anything about me, right? I think it takes certain people and a lot of time for a connection to foster that feels like fulfilling for me, right? So I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot going on. Dealing with like the feedback from my diagnosis and being like kind of insecure about that. I don't know. I go back and forth between being like, I am who I am, I know it and I accept it, and being super insecure, like, wow. Because I understand that in a way I am difficult to love. Like, I'm easy to love in an idealized sense, right? Because everyone meets me and they go, you're so different, and I never met anybody like you. You're so unique, and people just think, but oh my god, the video stopped. But yeah, oftentimes I find the same things that people speak positively on about me being different and quirky are the downfall of the relationship anytime, because I don't think people necessarily understand that, being neurodivergent doesn't mean that I just geek out about special interests. It means that I struggle to verbally communicate, or I struggle to initiate. And I understand that those things can be frustrating. So it's really bittersweet because it's like, even though I feel like it's unjust and it's wrong, I understand that it's not any neurotypical person's problem or responsibility to put up with me. And, that's the whole double empathy problem, and we don't have to get into that. But at the end of the day, like, it just is what it is, I guess. I don't know, it's so sad. I've been watching Love on the Spectrum again, which that show is super like infantilizing of autistic people or whatever. But I really like the first season because Caitlin and Steve are on there. And yeah, it just shows like you can be super bubbly and present well on the outside, but still struggle to make connections with people because it's just something so fundamentally different, right? Um, and I think if you don't have, if you're not disabled enough to present that way, people don't really think that of you. So you just give like weird, or I don't know. Like so many people like know me and are probably fond of me, but people don't like know me, or they don't like take the time to really understand me, right? And I don't know, that can be hard. So yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video. I don't even know where this video started from. Yeah, I have one more nail to pick off. Oh no, two. I'm picking my nails off, by the way. BT dubs. um, yeah, I don't want to force myself to say anything else, but bye.